Hey guys, it is Anne, and today I am going to be talking about anxiety, as you probably gathered from the title and the thumbnail. And I have multiple websites to credit today, so let's get into it. All credits go to the Child Mind Institute for their website on how anxiety affects teenagers. Mike the Therapist, who is seen in one of our group episodes, Mayo Clinic's website 11 Tips for Coping with an Anxiety Disorder, and the NHS website 10 Stress Busters. I will reference all of these at some point throughout the video, and obviously they will be mixed with specific points from me. We're going to start with some of the ways anxiety can form. So, it can form in stress, and it can cause rashes, and those two are really intermingled because you can have stress rashes and those can certainly cause some anxiety about, oh, what's happening to me and why is this happening. It can cause chronic stomach aches and headaches, and that is from the Child Mind Institute. So if you are having some chronic stomach aches and headaches and you don't know the cause of them, that anxiety that you may have may be one of the reasons, and it may be tucked away in the back of your mind. So, you might not think about it and you might not know why. It can cause mental distress, which is like when you're really, really anxious and you just cannot get your mind to stop racing, which is obviously not good. So, these are all things that you should be on the lookout for. It can cause you to avoid new experiences, and that's from the Child Mind Institute. So, say you have a fear of heights and you get really, really scared when you're high up. You'd probably skip something like a zip lining experience or a cliff jumping experience because those are usually super high up and not something that would sound very fun to a person with a fear of heights. You can have excessive worry or fear over everyday situations, and that's from the Child Mind Institute. And this comes from like you get so anxious and uptight about something, and you think of all the possibilities that can happen. You just don't want to go to the place where all these bad things can happen. And I totally understand that. You can have thoughts that are hard to control, and that's goes in hand with the mental distress because your thoughts can run away from you and you just don't know what to do about it. You can have extreme self consciousness, and that is also from the Child Mind Institute. And this is one of those things where you notice something about yourself and you really don't like it. So you get really anxious that everybody else is noticing it, and that's all you can think about. And it can really interfere with things that you want to do. Okay, the next section is handling, which is actually the last section, but that's me. The first thing that you can do is you can take deep breaths or do square breathing, and that is from our Mike the Therapist video. That is one of the things that he told us would be good. So it's in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and then hold for 4. It's a really good technique to really calm down your nervous system and reset and get your mind back focused on what it needs to be focused on. Another one is taking comfort in family or friends, which I think is a really good thing to do because that's what I do. I always take comfort in my family or friends when I'm having a really anxious episode and I really just need someone to be there for me. It's really helpful. And if you have people like that, I'd say seek out help from them. It can really be beneficial for you. Another one is assessing the situation. You could just be overthinking it for the moment. Now, this is not me saying, oh my god, all the situations that you have, you're overthinking. No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that some things, like if you're stressing out over a test that's not like a midterm or the end of your test, it is most likely going to be fine if you don't do well on that one thing. And this one is really hard for me because I always overplay the situation because I'm like, oh my god, if I don't pass this test, it's not going to go well for me. And then my grades are going to drop, and then everything will suffer. And then I'm going to end up failing the class somehow. My mind spirals. And when I assess the situation, I realize it really isn't that serious. The next one goes hand in hand with my last point. It is taking steps back. So, when you take steps back from the situation, say you're in a really stressful situation and your friends are fighting and you don't know what to do about it, it can really be helpful because if you take steps back, you can come at the situation with a really level headedness and help to solve the problem better than if you were really worked up and really anxious. A next one that you can do is you can eat healthy, and that is from Mayo Clinic's website. Eating healthy can be really helpful because if you have, and I don't want to say a bad diet, but if you have a diet consisting of more unhealthy foods, it can cause strain on your body, and that in turn can cause strain on your mental state, and that's not good. So, if you eat a little bit healthier, you might feel a little bit better. And feeling that little bit better can help your mental state so much. The next tip is to identify triggers, and that is from the Mayo Clinic. So, identifying your triggers of anxiety can be really helpful because you know what is likely going to cause your anxiety to spike and work yourself up. So, if you, and I don't want to say stay away from these triggers, but if you know what you're triggered by, you can expose yourself to it in small doses and gradually up your resistance to that thing so it doesn't make you as anxious as it once did. The next one is to take control, and in this context, I would say to take control of the situation, and that is from the NHS website. This is really important because if you can take control of the situation that is causing you anxiety, you can start alleviating that anxiety from your life. And when you do that, your mental state will be so much clearer and it will just make you feel so much lighter. Well, that is all the tips I have for you today. All the websites will be that I used will be linked down in the description. It was lovely talking to you guys. Bye.